The new RTX 50 series is announced by Nvidia, and some console fanboys are mad. PC Chodes are already tripping over themselves to justify it. No. Most that I see from PC gamers are skepticism. There are allegations of fake frames being generated out of AI frame generation and upscaling for the GPU benchmarks, so I don't see people universally recommending the cards, especially when they're not released yet. Future-proofing for what? The 2 games in the next 5 years that might actually push hardware? Bro, I don't buy the RTX 5090 or any of the expensive GPUs. I'm fine with my laptop 4060, laptop 3060, or even the Vega 7 integrated GPU out of my Ryzen 5 4600G streaming PC. All of them can play Counter-Strike Source. That's more than enough for me. Is it just hitting 600 FPS in Valorant so you can still lose to a 14-year-old with a $200 laptop? Why are you so salty that other people are playing old games and losing? God forbid they're having fun, right? It's about benchmarks, overlays, Temu Digital Foundry, spreadsheets, and the endless quest to justify dropping the price of an OLED TV on a card to play the same games they've been playing since 2015. Bro, why are you so salty that people play games from 2015 using the latest GPUs? Have you ever seen games from 2015? They're still amazing and look phenomenal to this day. Yes, the hardware is overkill, but it does let you play the latest titles if the guy's in the mood or if there's something interesting that comes up. And yes, there are PC gamers and content creators that care more about the technical side of gaming than the actual gaming itself. But that's because the technical side is also important to talk about and fun to discuss. Hardware can fail. They can be bad value for the money or give bad experience to the users. Software and games can fail and be poorly optimized to experience. All those are important issues to discuss in gaming, and in my opinion, also equally fun to discuss. Seriously, I have never seen someone this salty about people playing old games. Remember the statistics that only 15% of Steam users are playing games from 2024. 37% of all playtime is gonna be on games 8 years or older. Yes, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm glad you're catching up. Consoles are out here delivering actual gaming experiences and selling new releases. 8 years ago was 2017, which is, no exaggeration, one of the best years in gaming history from the last decade. Persona 5, Nier Automata, Cuphead, Divinity Original Sin 2, Resident Evil 7, these are only some of the most phenomenal and groundbreaking titles that are still culturally impactful to this day. PUBG was released in late 2017. It wasn't popular until 2018, but it defined Battle Royale. Genshin wouldn't exist without Breath of the Wild. Keep flexing those GPUs to max settings on games from the Obama administration. First off, 2017 was Trump. Second, even if you're talking about the actual games from the Obama administration, late 2008 to late 2016, there are lots of groundbreaking games from that era too. How dare those people play those games, right? You would be amazed at how narrow-minded these console fanboys are. Sure, man, go get blown away by Tetris then. Well, since you bring up Tetris, let me tell you a story. Back when I was in middle school, I was in a group chat with a couple of my friends, and I decided to ask them to play Tetris against me. I stopped playing, but they kept playing after I am done and tell me straight up that they got addicted to it. I've told people to give Sudoku a try. Even on the easiest difficulty, they are hooked. I've told people to download Solitaire on their phone to kill time while they're waiting, and they didn't even realize that time has passed. Bejeweled, or games like Bejeweled, have gone people to have genuine time blindness. Don't get me started on Balatro. My god, that game consumes people like a blob of flesh. Do not underestimate the simplicity and the utterly mesmerizing addiction that you can get out of these simple, casual games. That is something that none of these console fanboys could ever understand, because they're not real gamers. They don't play games for fun. They play games to chill on their plastic box of choice. There are a lot more PC versus console hoopla, but before we get to all those, if you like the content so far, here's a quick reminder to comment, like, subscribe, and leave a $1 tip to any of the links below. The high-end Nvidia 50 series, like the upcoming RTX 5090, is always a premium GPU that is not meant for everyone. It's not worth the money, but it is an option, just like the PS5 Pro is an option for PlayStation gamers. This guy thinks that a PS5 Pro is better than an RTX 5090. I mean, I guess it is better in terms of the value of what you're getting. The PS5 Pro is a whole console for $700 that lets you play games, but the RTX 5090 is a GPU for $2,000, which requires other PC components that you have to buy separately to make it run at all. Some people think you're ridiculous for paying $700 for a ready-to-go, completely upgraded game system, PS5 Pro, and yet will tell you how ultra smart you are if you're preparing to purchase a $1,999 singular GPU part. Well, I don't know about those people, but I didn't say that, and I wouldn't say that. Neither are wise purchases if you ask me. Both are premium products meant for very specific people, not something I recommend for the average consumer. Not knocking anyone willing to spend thousands on new PC tech, just the same courtesy should apply to premium console users. I agree, both the RTX 5090 and PS5 Pro are luxury products that are not recommended for most people, and there are better options in the market. Now let's move on to other console hooplas. I'm not sure what made this peasant come into this conclusion. So this peasant thinks that consoles are not only used for gaming, but also for other things like these. But these use cases are not only way better to be used on a PC or laptop, but also way better on a smartphone. And I have no idea why anyone would want to do any of these on a console. Browse the net. I mean, technically you can, but why the hell would you want to do that? You can browse the net on your phone. A PC is way better suited for this job. Technically, you can hook up a mouse and keyboard on a console and they will work, which does make it easier to type, chat, and browse, but it's still not an ideal setup for work. Make YouTube videos. Kind of. It can be used to live stream or record gameplay clips for a video. It can be used as a prop for a video or a topic of discussion for a video, like what I'm doing now. But it cannot be used to edit the videos and render the finished product. That's what the PC is for. Make music. Who makes music on a PlayStation console? Why would you? There are some games that let you make music, but again, the PC has DAWs like FL Studio. I guess you can use BandLab because it's browser-based, but PC is still better. Watch movies or anime. Now, this is a more realistic use for a console because the other PlayStation consoles also double as media players too. The PS2 is a DVD player, and James Rolfe even uses a PS3 as a Blu-ray player because he likes the remote. I'll let you slide on this one, though it still baffles me when that dude a couple of years ago only used this PS5 for watching Netflix. That is crazy. Watch VR movies. Yeah, VR is still very expensive, not counting that. Play music. You have phones for that, bro. File taxes. I'm sorry, what? Play emulated games. Yeah, that's not possible unless your console has been jailbroken and you install RetroArch or any other front ends. Order food. Bro, we have apps for that. Here's another PC versus PS5 Pro argument. $550 to upgrade your PC to a 5070 or $700 to upgrade your PS5. Well, it's not exactly an upgrade because the PS5 Pro is a whole new console. They don't make PS5 parts upgradable like the PC, but personally, I would do neither because I still play older titles. You still have to upgrade your RAM, your CPU, maybe a monitor or two. Whoa, hold up. I don't recall getting a free monitor or two buying a PS5 Pro. The comparison is not a good one. I agree, it's not. The PS5 Pro is a whole new console, but the RTX 5070 is just one part of many. There's a lot of things that are anti-consumer, like gasoline. Gasoline is expensive, granted, and you can make the argument that it is anti-consumer, but I definitely wouldn't be comparing it to a $2,000 RTX 5090. One person said the graphics card is the most important part, which is only partially true to some extent. The other person said that the CPU is, because it's the brain of the operation and without it, nothing works. That really depends on the games you're playing, but for most games, I'd argue the GPU is important. And the PS5 Pro is buying a whole new console with mostly the same stuff as the base PS5. It's not a good value. But then again, so are $550 GPUs. Seriously, console fanboys have some genuine delusions about how good their plastic box is. As 2024 come to an end, we can all agree that Sony PlayStation once again carried the industry. I'm sorry, how are they carrying the industry? People said it would be a bad year for PlayStation. No, it was a bad year for them. Astrobot is the only success you got last year, but the PS5 Pro is underwhelming, and Sony screwed the pooch with Concord, a failure so massive that it is straight up legendary among the gaming history. It turned out to be one of the best years ever for PlayStation games. No, it's not, but go on. If it wasn't for PlayStation, the industry would be doomed. Actually, the industry would be doing just fine without PlayStation. PC was never fully in gaming until the 2000s. Wow, you couldn't have possibly been more wrong about that, buddy. The PC was the original gaming platform, before the consoles even exist. Consoles were there before PC. Wrong. The PC was there before consoles. Just because they're not as popular doesn't mean they weren't there. Consoles dictate the industry, not PC. Not anymore, they don't. We're living in a time where even Japanese games are putting their games on PC and are actively supporting the PC gaming community a lot more so than they were before. There are way more PC gamers in the world than there are console gamers. That is a fact, and you have to learn it. Let's take a break from console gaming and focus on the L's on the PC gaming side. Well, this is an insane claim. Microsoft has never made a good product. That is where you are wrong. Office 365 is still the best Office suite right now. I tried alternatives, including free ones, but I wouldn't be able to make content right now without Office. Also, Windows 7, Windows XP, Xbox 360 and its controller, or are you just talking about recent Microsoft products? Windows is absolutely dog poo. Windows 11, yes, I made videos talking about it and talking about tweaking it so that it is slightly less dog poo. I might even have to update that this year, but after a lot of thankfully not so difficult tweaks, Windows 11 is perfectly functional. Its only use case is to play video games, but even then, just get a PlayStation! No, unless you want modern titles. Windows is still the best platform for gaming if you want to cover most of the PC gaming library. As much as I am impressed by Linux and the attention and development that it has by the gaming community and developers, it can only cover so much, but it's not a bad alternative. Except if you're a pirate, specifically games or software pirates. Stay with Windows if you are. Oh, come on, Microsoft, you are really not helping anyone with this garbage. How it feels upgrading to Windows 11. What, like AI-generated garbage? Come on, Microsoft. Windows 11 is a hog. I made a whole video talking about why it's a hog and how to make it less so for most people that are stuck with your operating system, like me. Last thing we need is your ass spying on us. Thankfully, Linux is a nice alternative, and people are slowly but surely joining in. I've had viewers tell me that they're running Linux as their primary operating system right now because Windows is a load of nonsense. Linux is not for everyone, but for the right people, for the right use cases, it is a nice alternative. There is a reason why a lot of people are looking forward to the standalone Steam OS, a Linux-based operating system that is centered entirely on Steam. Heck, you don't even need Steam OS. There are dedicated Linux distros for gaming that are so phenomenal that you have to try them to believe them, like Batocera. Seriously, that distro is phenomenal. You have to try it out yourself. It is crazy good. We talked about PC a lot, but we haven't talked a lot about those that left PC gaming for consoles. This person is done with PC gaming and switched to consoles and GeForce Now. Why? The constant cycle of expensive upgrades and tech headaches make me wonder if it's worth it. And the answer is no. Well, I think it's worth it, especially since I don't play recent titles that much, and I already have laptops that can do them if I so desire. The guy has a 5-year-old CPU and motherboard, and it's due for an upgrade. I was in the same situation. My Ryzen 5 1500X is not ideal for streaming, and my RX 570 broke. So I upgraded the streaming PC with a Ryzen 5 4600G. It's not the best CPU ever. It's Zen 2 while we are at Zen 5 right now, and it's only powered with a Vega 7 iGPU, but it's a streaming PC. It can stream with little to no lag, and it can play Counter-Strike Source just fine. It doesn't need to be fancy, and I got it for about $99 here. Not bad. That would cost another $500 with the headache of testing, tearing everything out, and installing all the hardware. $500 for a CPU and motherboard upgrade? I agree that the motherboard and CPU upgrade is insanely time consuming, but it's not that difficult. You don't need to do it every year. 5 years is perfectly reasonable to me, and you can do a little bit less than $500 for an upgrade. A $999 4080 is outdated in 12 months. outdated in 12 months? Are you out of your mind? This right here is straight up FOMO mentality. The 4080 is still an amazing card. Saying it's outdated because a 50 series card beat it is ludicrous. I still have a 3060, a laptop one even. If I want to play the latest titles, I can compromise for lower settings or lower frame rate, but I guess you can't compromise. Regardless, I don't mind people switching from PC to console or vice versa. I just need a justifiable reason. Not wanting to deal with the headache of switching motherboard and CPU is an understandable reason, but I personally love tinkering with my PC and figuring out the issues and problems and troubleshooting them. It's part of the fun, but that's just me. And that's all for the video today. Thank you all so much for watching. If you made it to the end, here's a cap. And also huge thanks to all these wonderful sponsors. You are all fantastic. If you want to see your name among these legends, then check out the links below, just $1. And you have supported this channel a lot. Seriously, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to check out my ABB Show stream channel, link below. Go subscribe. And I'll see you all next time.